went back to a hotel last night, and St. John's, they went back to their own home beds. What do you think is going to be the difference with sleeping? Who do you think is going to be on top of that?
Well, I believe, these guys have been playing hockey at a high level since, Pee-wee at least anyway, for sure. And it's something that they're used to, especially Western. I mean, Western, with the travel that they do, being in hotels comes, second nature to them during the hockey season. It's something that they've done before. It's something they'll do again. And whether it makes a difference, it may. But maybe sometimes, hey, sleeping in your own bed, doing your thing, being at your house, maybe being on your phone longer than coach wants you to be, that might be a thing for the St. John's Maple Leafs. But I kind of doubt that, though. I believe that they're ready to play. They're all go. They had a good night rest, both teams last night, and I think if anything, they'll be rested for the games. It might get a bit tiring in the second period, seeing that a quick turnaround has to happen. But I think they'll be good to go.
We've seen both these teams square off all throughout this series, and last game the Maple Leafs won that game, and they took a 3-1 series lead. And now that the end is in sight for the Maple Leafs, and they've won 2 straight series, and this is their 3rd straight year into the finals. Do you think this is going to be a rough one for Western as they go through, knowing that the end is near?
Well, Western, this is their do-or-die game. They have to win. There's no tomorrow. You can throw out all the cliches you want to throw out there for them, but they know what's at stake here. If they lose, the season is done. 30-2 means nothing. And I'm sure coaches are telling them the same. It means something in terms of an accomplishment, but for what they want is their end goal. That really won't matter if this game ends in a Leafs victory. With the St. John's Maple Leafs, they have nothing to lose here today. Even if they lose the game, they still have 2 more opportunities to finish off Western Kings and go to that Atlantic trip in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, to represent Newfoundland. They'll be ready to go. Loose, I would imagine they'll be loose and get. They'll be playing very well in this game, knowing that the end goal is near.
So after seeing the game last night, how do you think that they can improve after what they did? What do you think that they did wrong, and what can they do right?
The Leafs or the Kings?
The Kings after that loss.
Basically, with Western Kings, what I'm seeing out there and talking to their coaches is getting pucks to the net. I mean, last night we saw them outshoot, but still they were under 30 shots. And in this particular league, you shoot under 30 shots, you taking your chances. That's usually a 2-1, 3-2 game, because our goaltending in this league is at a high level. They need to outshoot the St. John's Maple Leafs. At least they got to try to outshoot them by a 2-1 margin. But to do that, they have to work as a team together. They have to be able to bring that puck through the neutral zone with speed. They have to get the guys going hard to the net. Trailers coming. What I'm seeing out there sometimes, though, with the Western Kings, as the game goes on, skates aren't moving as well as they were in the first period. I'm not sure if that's a conditioning thing. I'm not sure if that's just a fact of being tired of playing so much hockey over the year. But they have to move together as a group, as a 5-man unit through the ice. If they do that, they'll be successful. Shooting pucks is going to be a big thing. That Anto-Anderson leg line, I mean, you're talking about your top goal scorers in the league, and they have to come out and prove that they were the cream of the crop. And you're talking about Andrew Antle. He was an MVP of the league this year, and he has to come out there and show that he is the MVP, that he takes this team on his back, and they go and play a strong, hard game, led by him, led by other players like Robinson, led by players like Anderson, led by players like Skylar Coates. And Skylar Coates didn't play last night. He was out of the game in the first period because of a hit, and he got a 5-minute game, so he had to take a 1-game suspension last night. He's back in the lineup tonight. He'll make a big difference to this team. He was Rookie of the Year this year for the league. He should come out here tonight because he's hungry. He missed the last game, saw his team lose, and if he comes out here and is driven to win, that line will be successful. It's going to take a whole team effort for Western to come back in this game, but they can't look beyond this game. They have to go out there and 1 game at a time win this game, get it back to Corner Brook, get their their fans at the Civic Center, go hard, get behind them, win that game, and then you're talking about one game winner take all. But it's going to be an uphill struggle, and it has to start today.
So do you think that that was the big difference maker for St. John's as they went through, as you talked about the teamwork? They basically played a two-line game last night where you wouldn't see a lot of the third and even the fourth line. I didn't see much of them at all. Do you think that is the big difference maker for St. John's? They went through, they're a little bit faster onto the puck, and they're getting to the pucks first, and they're passing it around, and they got good chemistry?
They do have good chemistry, and Western has good chemistry too. But from what I'm seeing out there, the biggest difference in the game over 3 periods is conditioning. It seems to be that the Leafs don't lose from anything from period 1 to period 3. They're just as fast in period 1. They're moving it together in period 2 and in period 3. I know that Coach Bob Thompson is on their bench, and anybody who knows Bob Thompson in the Newfoundland community, he's a fitness freak. He has a gym. He's trained NHLers, Teddy Purcell among others, and he carries that with his team. I know the St. John's Maple Leafs train, and they train hard, and they're ready to go. And I think for them, that makes a difference over each period. And if you can take that into the game and your conditioning is strong and you can go hard every period, that makes a big difference. And from what I'm seeing, what's happening towards the third period, that is something that they do have an advantage over Western Kings, that's for sure.
So it's going to be interesting with the coach and seeing what he's going to be saying after his players last night. We talked a little bit in the pregame about the first period, really telling the story of the game. And Western really did dominate that first period yesterday. And it seems like they almost collapsed after the second period.
Well, Fisher played a good period to keep the puck out of the net in the first period. Kudos to him for having a good period in the first. And when you don't score, when you're getting opportunities to score, and the puck's not going in the net for you, there's things that happen. I mean, your players on the bench, they start to grip their sticks a little tighter, start to get a little bit more frustrated, start to wonder how they're going to score, how they're going to get those pucks in and get that lead that they desperately need. And there's things that they need to do. They need to focus. They need to be able to say, okay, the puck doesn't go in, we're not going to get frustrated. The coaches have to keep them even-keeled on the bench. Can't let things get out of hand. Like, there was a lot of banging and crashing of sticks, a lot of people, a lot of the players kicking the benches, screaming at players, screaming at refs, chirping here, chirping there. You get that happening to you and your team, especially at this level, then you start to not focus on the game. You're focusing on things you shouldn't be focusing on. And as a coach myself as well, those are things you can't let your players do. And if they start to do that, then the game gets out of hand very quickly.
Like you mentioned, we've seen a lot of banging of the sticks, and we've seen a lot of the players upset at the referees and some of the calls, and then some of the plays that happened into the corner and a few dirty hits. Do you think that we're going to see another big physical game here today?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you're going to see, especially if this game starts to go in favor of the Leafs. Western's going to start banging and crashing bodies. That's where the frustration will start happening. But Western's a big team. The Leafs can hold their own as well. They're going to be, they're going to go back and forth with each other. I can guarantee you that. There's nothing to hold back here. For Western, I mean, if they do start to lose the game, if it starts getting out of hand, then they're going to want to show that they're still a good team and they're still a dominant team. For St. John's Maple Leafs, probably won't see it as much because they want to win this game and they still have a game to play if they lose this particular game. So it is going to be a physical game. It might not be as many penalties. From a Western standpoint, you hope so. They're hoping that. For the Leafs, obviously, they have been doing a decent job of staying out of the penalty box. Time will tell. We'll see what happens now in the next 60 minutes.
Can we see the Leafs taking advantage of this throughout this game? Taking advantage of that, like you said, that stick banging and all these penalties. They've had a wicked of power play.
Oh, without a doubt. I believe that you're going to see the Leafs try to get the Western out of their game, get them out of their thought process, out of sync. And you're going to see the Leafs try to chirp them as much as they can and get that response that they want.
As some of the Western players are starting now to enter the ice, it's going to be a long uphill battle for them. And they did play a very heavy dump and chase game earlier on. And the Leafs really took advantage of that, and the defense really stepped up and picked up on that.
Teams are just coming onto the ice now. We weren't really sure who the Leafs are going to play as their starting goalie tonight. Seeing Mike Fisher played the last 2 games with their other goalie, Andrew Curtis, being sick. But from what we can see here now, it looks like Fisher will start the game. Andrew Curtis will be on the bench for the Maple Leafs.
Fisher had a whopper of a game last night as he just played absolutely exceptional through the first few periods. And now here's the anthems. Games 1 through 4 are behind us, and now it's game number 5 here. I'm Zach Power alongside with Corey Donchamon as we get ready for this game. It's the game number 5. The Leafs lead the series 3-1 as we take a look at our starting goaltenders tonight. Down there you're looking at Park for the Western Kings as he had a phenomenal game last night. And then it's Fisher on the other side who had an absolute whopper of a game, only letting up 1 goal, and he's going to really have to be the key factor of this game.
In the last 2 games, Mike Fisher's been pretty solid for the Maple Leafs. He's the reason why I guess the game has gone or series is tied. 3 games to 1 for the Maple Leafs. Down at the other end, Lucas Park's going to have to bring a pretty solid effort in order for this game for the series to go back to Corner Brook.
Leafs and Kings, game number 5 as we're underway, and starting away is going to be the Western Kings as they're moving it along, and a long flip pass that got to Greenham, and out to play it is Langdon. Trying to center it out in front there, but that pass was unavailable. Played into the corner as we're off to a really fast start here, and it's cleared in along there by Brothers. Park out to play it, leaving it out for Goss. Goss will flip it in ahead, and now trying to get it out in front there are the Maple Leafs, but one more time it's Greenham. Playing it along the side of the boards, now trying to center it out in front, but Brothers couldn't collect the pass as he chips it up forward. Skipping it in behind the goal, and Western taking a bump there, and they'll try to move it forward.
It's a nice flow to the game right now. Some quick changes there, get a couple extra lines out there.
Here comes the Kings as they're trying to step in and through, and a stick goes flying, and play is called down. Looks like it's going to be a slash, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a slashing call or taking the stick call there against the Maple Leafs. Raising the stick and taking the stick out of your hands and not being able to get the slashing, not be able to get that stick and be able to use it. As soon as it comes out of your hands, the referee's going to call that each and every time. Quick advantage here now for the Western Kings to see what happens here.
Just 57 seconds into this opening frame, and the Leafs are sitting in the sin bin for 2 minutes or less. That's Greenham. Robinson to the other side. The Kings controlling in the offensive zone on this power play. Robinson one more time. He's waiting, and a long shot there, and that one went right into the glove of Fisher.
Fisher can see that all the way. In order for those shots to be effective for the Kings, they're going to have to get guys in front of the net. They're going to have to try to make sure that Fisher doesn't see that puck.
Anto wins the draw. It's Robinson. Robinson waiting now. He tries to get that one on goal, and that one got there. One more time, it's Robinson at the line. Robinson spinning it forward, and it'll be sent in behind the goal where it'll be Ward. He's moving it on in, and it'll be sent around. Puck swatted down with a glove. Robinson from the line, and that one went off the stick, and that one's played out.
You're going to have to get some different guys at Western to try to get pucks to the net and try to get some opportunities. That time you had Smith, you had Ryan, you had Robinson out there. Okay, you had Antle. These are the guys that are going to have to score goals and get some secondary scoring for Western.
Antle had a great season, and his playoffs has been pretty good, but he really needs to step up for his team if they want to win. Genge at the line, keeping it in. It's Anderson, a long drive in. And that one's easily gloved down, and not being tested so far is Fisher, as he hasn't really had much to look at.
Well, you're seeing pucks are coming straight through to him, and goalies at this level are going to catch those pucks each and every time.
Kings controlling off the draw. They've won most of these faceoffs so far this morning. Genge wants a pass, and he won't be able to get one at the point, as stopping it there was Goss. The Kings are starting away with it. A long flip pass. Anderson couldn't get a full stick on it. And it'll be sent down behind the goal where Fisher will play it out with the big goal stick. And a long dump in that went off a linesman, and the play is called down.
Linesman almost lost his footing there. He's having a little laugh for himself. He almost got turned around there. You're looking at points leaders for in the Newfoundland Labrador Major Midget League this year. You have Antle had 57, Stuckless for Blizzard at 42, Regan Seymour had 43, Liam Smith on Western had 39. The next Western player is Jonathan Anderson, 35. And these are the guys that are going to have to step up and make those plays for Western.
Long dump in by Robinson off the face-off win by Antle, as he just mentioned there. And Robinson will begin in his own zone. And he's going to take his time and skate with it. This could be another passive game here, but they're going to come in with a burst of speed. Is Robinson. Maple Leafs can control. Spinning forward now, and that one couldn't be collected in on goal. Antle now. He's waiting for it, and he'll chip it in forward, and it'll be played into the corner. Now another centering pass out front, and a big save there by Fisher off the shot there by Robinson. Robinson one more time. Brings it across the other side. Now trying to center it out in front there for Smith, and it'll be moved in around.
Back to full strength here. Now the penalty has been over. Good opportunity, not some good time in the zone there by Western. Maybe they can build on that and take the momentum forward.
Robinson at the line, chipping it in forward, and Western's going to make a few changes here on the defensive side of things. And now here comes a long stretch pass for Duty on a 2-on-1. Duty making a nice move to the other side. They score! Leafs are on the board early, and it's now a 1-0 hockey game.
That was a nice stretch pass there from the St. John's Maple Leaf defenseman to Duty. Duty puts the puck across.
That was Brandon Knight there, got the pass.
Brandon Knight with the finishing move there. Nice little step through the middle there. Freezes Park. He tried to go across, but he couldn't. And it's 1-0 to St. John's Maple Leafs.
Brandon Knight had a rough game last night where nothing seemed to be going his way. And now he scored early into this game to give the Leafs the 1-0 lead. Kings controlling off of that quick goal there by the Maple Leafs. And if it's going to keep going like this, it's going to be a long game for the Kings. Plays called down on the offsides.
You're looking at this Knight, Duty, Dyer line. You're looking at them tonight, or Martel, sorry. You're looking at them probably playing a few extra minutes in this game than they did in the last game because of the injuries to some of the Leafs. Nick French was pretty banged up from the last game. He's going to, coach is going to have to limit his ice time and try to get him in situations where he's not going to be banged up a little bit more.
Henley controlling in his own zone. He's going to try to splice it in forward. And the Kings will pick it up off of this tennis match. Ryan couldn't get a full stick on it. Coates knocks it up into the bench, and that will stop the play.
Well, it's a 1-0 game right now, but Western is still not playing a bad game. I know they scored that goal, which was kind of a quick goal for them, for the St. John's Maple Leafs, but they have to just keep their composure, keep going forward, not lose anything yet. It's still first period, still 15 minutes, 43 seconds left in this in the first, and lots of time to get that one back.
Chipped into the corner, Greenham out to play it. Langdon gets a stick on it first. Played along for Goss, now he'll control. It will be sent in around, it's Goss. Moving it forward and knocked off the glass there. And now jostled in against the wall, or the Leafs. But Greenham will come away with it for the Maple Leafs as he'll dump it in. Here comes the Leafs one more time. That one went off the blocker of Park, who made a nice save there. One more time, it's French into the corner. And now there's a dirty cross check into the corner, and now that's going to be called down as French took a knee.
As Oak with the penalty, Oak with the interference call there on French. The puck was not there, and Oak hit him from the side, and takes a penalty that he probably might want to think about next time he's in that situation and not do. He's putting his team 2 minutes down off with the Leafs on the power play.
The Leafs had a nice power play last night where they did capitalize on a few of their chances, and they've been phenomenal on that power play. And let's see if they can do something here with it now, as they're moving in through center and they're trying to start away with it, and they couldn't get a full stick on it. Now it's McCarthy for Greenham at the line. Sending it on to the boards now, it's Greenham for French. Greenham shoots, and that one went off a skate. And now here comes the Western Kings as they're moving it on in. That one by Ward. Here comes Ward moving in with a shot, and a nice save there.
Those are the kind of saves you got to get. Fisher's playing really well down in the Maple Leafs net. Third game for him. He's played the last 3 games. You can see that glove save that he just made. He was ready for that. 3 games in 60 hours for Fisher. Doesn't seem to be phased him one bit.
A nice little breakout opportunity there for the Kings, and a good little spurt of offense.
This is time for Western to step up now. They're going to have to get the next goal, try to get the momentum.
In behind the goal, sent in around by the Kings, it's Antle. Flipping it in behind the goal, they'll start away and they'll move it in along by Anderson. Now a shot from the point by Kornick, and that one blocked up in front, and now it's Goss. He's going to come away on this power play opportunity. Seymour putting on the brakes, trying to feed Norman, but that pass was unavailable, and it'll go down the length of the ice. Osmond controlling. Splicing it forward, and now here comes the Leafs as they're moving in. It's Norman. Norman dumping it in and long. Played along for Goss. He'll spit it back to the point. Norman collecting a pass. Moving around with it and skating with it. And now sent down low where that pass was sent into the skate. Now a centering pass here that never went anywhere. And now here comes the Kings as they'll start away with it in the neutral zone. It's Langdon as he dumps it in. 13:20 left to go in this first period. 15 seconds left to go in this power play.
Nice play by Langdon to kill some time off the clock in this power play here.
Leafs controlling, and they'll dump it down. Knocked off the glass, and it'll be played in along the boards where they'll try to move it in and along. Martel taking a bump. He's got a nice assist there off the pass to Duty. It's like you said before, that line getting some offense. Norman with a long drive. That one went off a skate out in front on the Western Kings. Now another drive there. That one went off the glass and played in behind the goal. Robinson controlling and splicing it in forward. Here comes the Kings as they're trying to step it in through, and a nice shot there by Ryan. And a good opportunity to score.
Brady Ryan's a pretty fast player. He goes hard every time. You see that puck come through the neutral zone there, and he gets it around the defenseman. Just a little bit to Fisher's right, just took his angle away. Couldn't get a really good shot away as Fisher had the angle cut down and made sure that that shot went right into the breadbasket there.
Notice that the Maple Leafs defense has started to slack a little bit as we've seen a few breakouts so far through this game. And we're going to see how that all pans out as we go through this hockey game. Parsons at the red line, and he'll dump it in. Park got to play it for the Kings, and they'll have to start away in their own zone. As they're waiting, they'll move it in, and they'll dump it off the glass. Anderson trying to play it, and it'll be sent in behind the goal where Park will stop it there. Kings in behind their own goal. They're stepping it in, and it's played in forward for Anderson.
Just can't get that outlet pass to break out of their zone. Looking for the lanes. Just not there for them at the moment.
Trying to spring a pass to Parsons, and they couldn't get it out of that zone. Osmond in his own zone. He gets the pass back, and he'll have to start away and try to move it forward. Osmond springs his defensive man, and it'll be knocked off a stick, and it'll be sent down. Kings controlling. They're splicing it in forward, and Brothers stops at the line and tries to
that was close.
Shoot it in forward, and that could have been a good opportunity to score there.
One of the things you'll notice here, if the Western can't get their passes going with their breakouts, is that they'll make a flip pass through the middle of the ice. And while that works to get clear the zone, it doesn't get them the puck and doesn't have possession to keep going for opportunities to the net. So they really need to get this breakout down pat and get that puck away from the Leafs.
After a close call behind the goal, and the Kings will knock that down, and I'll go down the length of the ice. 10:45 left to go in period number 1. The shots are 6-3 in favor of the Kings, and I feel like they're dominating a little bit here, but the Leafs are starting to come back here as after that first goal, you start to see them, and it's been a seesaw match ever since then.
And in the last 3 or 4 minutes here, it's kind of gone back and forth, but in that last shift, the St. John's Maple Leafs had the Kings pinned in. They couldn't really get pucks out. Breakouts are an important part of the game. They really need to get this breakout down if they're going to be successful in moving the puck to the offensive zone.
Leafs controlling, it's Martin. He'll take a knee, and the Kings will turn it over, and they'll start away. And now here comes another turnover as the Leafs try to gain control, and now we're into a ping pong match. Greenham in his own zone, and he's got time, and he's gonna skate it out. Springs his man forward, and knocking to the ice there is French, and now a turnover in front of the net that could have been deadly. The rebound, and they score!
That's Brady Ryan. Nice play from behind. Speed of Brady Ryan there is what caused that goal.
Leafs aren't happy about this either.
Watch here on the replay. Brady Ryan takes a wide, beats Henley, goes around the net, and jams that puck in. The puck kind of hit Fisher, hit his arm, and then trickled into the net. But let me tell you something. Brady Ryan is what made that goal happen for the Western Kings. With his speed and the way that he plays this game, that's going to be critical for the Western Kings. Saw him in pregame sprinting the stairs, and he can do it pretty quickly. I can tell you he can do it a lot faster than I can, that's for sure.
Referee's talking with the Leafs bench now.
He's just talking, I believe, about in the crease there. They're talking about what happened down there and that goal, I do believe. But it looked like a pretty good goal to me. 1-1 tie here now. Something Western Kings desperately needed to have happen. Let's see what happens here now in the next 10.
The Kings have tied up the game, and they have 7 shots on goal. They'll be sent in down. Duty out to play for the Leafs. It's placed in behind the goal. It'll be knocked around on the boards, and Martel will turn it over as he picks it up. Martel shifting it in forward now. Martel gains control, and he'll spit it back into his own zone where they'll slowly regroup. Osmond forward for Martel, who just gets a stick on it, and Brandon Knight is going to chase after it for the Leafs. Anto could have gotten his stick on it, and now the Kings swat it forward is Eason. Parsons into the corner, he takes a bump there by Eason. Knocked down at the point, now another shot there. That one went wide of the goal. Long dump in there by the Kings.
That's a nice shift by Western after that goal, just to make sure that they continue pushing forward, put their bigger line on the ice, get a few checks, get the puck moving, and making St. John's think about it every time now that they touch it.
Kings controlling, they're waiting in their own zone. Parsons knocks it off to his man. Played in behind where Parsons will regain control. Anderson's jostling with his man down there. That one, French is down there. And now we're seeing that French line out there. McCarthy can't get a shot in on goal, and now here comes the Kings back the other way. Anta will dump it in. McCarthy one more time in his own zone, sending it across the other side and knocking it off the boards, and French will just get a stick on it. Maybe enough for feet on the icing, and that will nullify that.
Western fans and coaches, I believe, were looking for an interference call there on that offensive try just then. The contact with the defenseman made with the floor was just a little longer than they thought it should have been.
Smith moving it in. Couldn't feed Oak as it's sent in forward now, and now the Leafs will turn it over and gain control. Norman splitting it across, and a long dump in there that was stopped at the line there by Robinson. And now here comes the Kings back the other way. They're moving it in, putting on the brakes now, feeding Oak. Oak coming in with a shot, and then went wide off the goal off the save.
Nice blocker save there by Fisher to keep that puck out of net. That was going into the corner for sure.
Kings again trying to control. Oak couldn't get a stick on it there, and it'll be sent down. And now here comes the Leafs on a good opportunity, but Seymour couldn't collect the pass. Kings dumping it down, and a great shift on both ends, and a long time without a whistle, and some good hockey on both ends.
Referee's making the call here now.
I believe there's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, Mason Campbell for the Western Kings. He got 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary there, but he will sit in the box.
I think that comes from talking to the referees a little too much. Like we talked about at the beginning of the game, those are the penalties you can't be taking.
I know a lot of these sports have now adapted a zero tolerance policy. I know the NLSA Soccer Association has done a great job doing that with the zero tolerance, and the NL Hockey Association and all their affiliated leagues have done a great job with their referees in creating that zero tolerance policy.
Well, I know referees at this level of hockey, as soon as you open your mouth and you can talk to a referee, you don't curse at a referee, and you don't question them and tell them it's stupid calls, bad calls, or any other curse words that you might think about. You're automatically in the box.
Greenham now the assistant captain, and he's going to move it in forward. Knocked off the skate of Knight. Osmond will control, and he'll send it back for Greenham. Osmond one more time. Now Greenham one more time. Pass ahead for Osmond, and he's going to go up with a nice burst of speed as he'll dump it in, and the Leafs will change on the defensive end of things. Meanwhile, in the offensive zone, circling around is McCarthy. He's waiting for it, and he'll splice it back to the point. Osmond one more time, trying to fork it in to the goal mouth area, and Seymour will pick it up. Behind the goal, it's McCarthy. He's battling hard with his man, and now Knight's in there. McCarthy, Knight now. Knight getting the pass back to the point, and Henley with a shot there that got blocked up in front, and now will be sent down the length of the ice. .5:10 left to go in this first period. We're deadlocked at 1 here. 15 seconds left to go on this power play opportunity, and now here comes Norman. Norman moving it ahead, and it'll be sent down by the Kings.
That's a great job of penalty killing there by the Western Kings to kill that penalty, an unnecessary penalty. I'm sure that when Campbell gets to the bench, Coach Robinson's going to be talking to him about that, and making sure that he doesn't do that again.
They're just penalties that you cannot be taking, especially in this elimination game for the Kings. Stopped at the blue line there as Ryan played it offsides.
Ryan put himself offside there. The puck went up in the air. It's a little bit of a burst of speed there by Ryan, but he tried to make that play to himself, but he kind of put himself offside. The puck ended up behind him. That's just how quick he is. I told you before, if you ever watch him speed. One of the things about Ryan, Braden Ryan, is that he's a pretty passionate guy. He takes a lot of penalties, but his skill is such that he can take care of those with a few goals from time to time as well.
Falling to the knee are the Kings, and now here comes Martell as he tries to capitalize on that quickly. Played in further now, be sent down to the point again for a shot there by French. That one whistled wide of the goal off a deflection. Duty can't get a stick on it now, and it'll be sent down the other way, and now here comes Anderson. A long dump in there. Fisher out to play it as he'll knock it in around. Another long shot in there, as that was a good opportunity to score. An Oak on a fast shot.
Fisher wasn't ready for that one. He got back there in time for sure.
3:53 left to go in the first frame here. The shots on goal are 10-3 in favor of the Kings. As we've seen a pretty even match. Even though the shot clock says otherwise, I still believe that this has been an absolute thriller so far. Played in around, it's Parsons in behind the goal. He'll get bumped into the boards. And Flynn will try to play it for the Leafs as he pins his man up against the boards. And there's a collection of 4 bodies in there. And now there's going to be a call.
Well, see, here's the thing I was talking about Braden Ryan. So if you look at the replay, if we can get a replay of that, I'm not sure if we can. But there was a check there on the boards. Flynn looks at him and tells him, he does, how's it going? Merry Christmas or whatever. And here's Flynn talking boom. And then that's the penalty. I mean, that's a head contact, and I can tell you right now, it's a 4-minute head contact penalty because the referees are not going to let that go. If for Flynn, that was a smart play by him. He knew who he was talking to. He knew he could get him, and he did.
Nice little punch in the head, almost a boxing style. I didn't think that when I came here to do this game at 10 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't see a wrestling match into the corner and a shot to the helmet mask.
But again, that's the kind of penalty that can't be taken. That's a penalty that is, by any stretch of the imagination, is unnecessary. And
especially with that magnitude of the 4-minute.
Exactly. I mean, and the series is 3-1. Those are penalties that Braden Ryan takes from time to time that just drives coaches crazy.
So what do you think Robinson's going to say now?
Well, he'll tell him. He's probably told him before, and he's going to have to tell him again. You just don't take penalties in that situation.
Meanwhile, in the offensive zone for the Leafs, it's Greenham. Greenham's going to slow things down. Seymour, Greenham with a long drive. And a nice glove save there as it came up. And
that looked like a how do you do, thank you very much. Kind of screen on the play was Park, and it kind of put it right into his glove here. As you see here on the replay, nice shot. And look what I got. Nice windmill move there by Park as well, though. But you know what? Lucas Park's a great goalie. He plays baseball as well. So if anybody can catch those pucks, it's Lucas.
Kings dump it down, and the Leafs will start. 2:10 left to go in period number 1. 2:56 left to go on this power play opportunity. And now here comes the Leafs as they're going in with a burst of speed. Spinning it in forward now, and it'll be Duty who's out to play it there for the Leafs, but he couldn't get a stick on it. And now a long dump in there by Anderson, and it'll be dumped down the length of the ice.
Now you watch the breakout here now by the Leafs. This is one of the things that they're clinical at. They get their wingers moving off the wall, get their guy going through the center, one pass, and it's in. Not that time though. It's puck out and went astray on Henley.
Norman in behind the goal. Henley one more time. Norman gets it again as he'll try to spit it forward, and he'll get it there. Pass intended for nobody as Oak will clear it in long.
I think the strategy here for the Western Kings, like we talked about at the beginning, is I'm sure the coaches probably talked about as well, is all pucks to the net. See what happens. Rebounds can get there. We can use our speed to get there. We'll be able to bang in these rebounds.
And now here's a goal out in front there, and the Leafs capitalize on their power play opportunity, and it's now a 2-1 hockey game.
Nice goal there by Maple Leafs. Goss going hard to the net, finishing off the pass. Not much that Park can do on that particular play. As you see the pass coming across, Seymour beats Robinson wide, gets a nice pass across, and that's a hard stop for any goaltender to make at any time. Oak let Goss get to the front of the net, but I guess one of the bright side for the Kings is that happened after the first 2 minutes of that 4 minute was expired, so they're now back to 5-on-5.
The passes across from the Leafs as the defense of the Kings hasn't been able to stop that pass come across. We've seen that earlier on with Knight, and now again here with Goss. Leafs controlling, spinning it forward now, and it's French's heel battle in there. Knocked in for Parsons at the red line. He'll try to dump it in. It'll be stopped there at the line and cleared in by Campbell. Fisher out to play it. Parsons gains control. 20 seconds left to go in period number 1, and it's 2-1 for the Leafs. McCarthy getting a stick on it, and he'll dump it down. Play is called down on the save there by Park. An easy save at that. 10.4 seconds left to go.
10 seconds left here now in the first period. The key for Western right now then is going to see how they respond after this. And if they can't, coming out of the first period into the second, down by a goal, especially with that penalty that was taken, they're going to have to find the quick goal there coming back next period so that this game doesn't start to get out of their control.
That's the end of the first period of action, as we've seen 3 goals, 2 of those by the Maple Leafs and 1 for the Kings. Shots on goal are doubled by the Kings as they lead 12-6. And as Rick Jenneret would say on the Buffalo Sabres MSG network, roll the highlight reel. Welcome back inside the beautiful glacier in Mount Pearl as we seen just 20 minutes go by and a 2-1 lead for the Maple Leafs as they get ready for the second and third period as they're leading 2-1, and we'll see another 40 minutes. The shots on goal were 12-6 in favor of the Kings as the Leafs scored the first goal, and then coming back was the Maple Leafs, and then it's been a seesaw game ever since then, and it's just been an absolute thriller this whole season and throughout all these games. And I've just had a pleasure to call these games. I'm Zach Power up here in the broadcast booth alongside with Corey Downtremont as we get ready for another period of action as we're underway. Leafs controlling off the draw, and it's McCarthy. Kings regain in the defensive zone. Will be spat around, and Flynn from the point now, and a long drive there. That one went off the netting. What do you think is going to be a key factor, though, Corey?
Well, we talked about it last period. We talked about it just as the period was over. These next minutes are going to be critical for Western. Depending on how this goes, if they can get sustained pressure in the offensive zone, then they're going to be they have an opportunity to be successful and come back here. But if the Leafs get the next goal, I'm not sure how their psyches are going to be able to handle that.
Flynn from the point, and a long drive in that never came close to going in on goal. And now here comes another drive there from the point, and now the rebound is there for French, and that one swatted in off the side of the goal. Flynn from the point, crisscrossing it to the other side, and a long drive in, that one went off the pad of Park, who's been playing great, and he's only given up 2 goals so far.
Park kind of looked behind him that time when that shot came through. I don't think he saw it till the last minute and didn't exactly know where the puck was going after he made the save off the pad. But for the Western Kings here, you see their bench, you see their coaches. These are critical minutes here now for the Western Kings. They have to start pushing forward and trying to get that tying goal.
Speaking of coaches, what do you think that the Western team is saying to the players in that intermission?
Well, in that intermission, I'm pretty sure they're probably saying, like, okay, they got 2 goals on us. The 2 goals, not much we could have did about that. But we have to make sure that we don't give up those penalties that are going to cause problems for us.
We've seen that earlier on in this game where they gave up a few bad penalties that really shouldn't have been taken. And the Leafs are really capitalizing on that too, drawing these penalties and almost instigating these.
The Leafs know that if certain players on Western team, they're passionate. They want to win hockey games. They want to make sure that they are playing hard. But there's a fine line between playing hard and taking those penalties, and that's the line that some of these guys walk sometimes. They have to make sure that those penalties aren't going to happen in these next 40 minutes.
A little bit of 6-on-5 action. Too many men on the ice for a brief second there. As the Leafs almost got caught there, and they got a bit lucky there as Duty will dump it in.
You see the Leafs here in their defensive posture. That's been very successful. They've made that work a lot in these last 3 games, limiting the neutral zone pressure. As you saw, and we talked about earlier, that flip pass that Western tried to make through the zone just doesn't work for them. They have to, if they're going to be able to sustain pressure, they have to make sure the pucks get on sticks and they enter the zone on their stick with speed.
Seeing Martel springing the zone a lot in this game. He really wants to score. He's got some nice assists, but he's really edging up there on that blue line, and he wants to score in this game.
Well, Martel scored the goal, the go-ahead goal on Friday night to put the Leafs ahead 3-2, and it was an empty net goal made up 4-2. He was a critical player for the Leafs that night, getting that goal for them. Offense coming from all lines that night as well.
Henley with a long shot in. McCarthy on the side of the goal, but he couldn't get that into the goal mouth area. Kings dumping it out, and Henley will spit it in forward. Trotting out with it are the Kings, and it's Henley. He'll try to move it forward, but it's intercepted there. It's Campbell trying to spit it forward, and he'll get it for Smith. He plays in behind the goal. And now here comes the Leafs. Trying to spring French, but he couldn't get it there. And Greenham will have to start away in his own zone. A long flip pass that's sent out for Cornick. And now McCarthy gets a stick on it. McCarthy shoots, and that one went right into the crest of the Kings goaltender.
One of the players that's not on the ice for the Western Kings this game is Chris Thomas, number 89. He would have been on the ice in that shift there. He's a big loss for the Western Kings in this game. He contributes offense for Western on power play and 5-on-5. Get pucks to the net. He's a pretty quick player, but he's not in the lineup tonight, and his loss might be felt.
He took a slash last game, and there was no call on that, I do believe.
No, that was towards the end of the game. We saw him go off, holding his hand, holding his arm. It was a play that was missed by the refs. The refs are not missing a lot out there, but sometimes it happens, and you can't see a play, can't see things that happen out there sometimes. So you know, in the flow of the game, sometimes that's all you can do.
Face-off coming up blocker side of the park, and Knight somewhat wins the draw off.
There's a penalty on Western. Scott, our coach, is going to the box for hooking off the face-off.
And now another penalty here, as the Kings are going to be penalized another time.
You won't see, he's not very happy about it. It was more of a overpowering of the player. I'm skeptical about the hook because sometimes in a battle, players are going to battle, and strength should be able to overcome. And to me, that seemed like more of a strength call there.
Osman at the line, playing it forward. Now it's McCarthy. Now another drive in on goal, and that couldn't be collected. Greenham again. In forward for Seymour. Seymour behind the goal, putting on the brakes and tries to get it to the other side. It's Greenham one more time. Greenham waiting. Takes the shot. Now he takes one there, and that one went off the pad. Greenham stopping it at the line twice. Keeps it in and gets it forward now, as it'll just be sent outside the line where Goss will have to play it. Leafs starting in their own zone. 18 left to go in this second period. Goss moving it, and it's Osman. Osman now the drop pass. And behind the goal, they're moving away with it. And now another shot, and that one stopped there.
That's a recovery save there by Lucas Park. I mean, he was playing a guy coming around the net. Lost sight of the puck there for a second and managed to get back and make that save. I'll tell you what, Goss there, number 9, he's a big player for the Leafs. The Leafs really got a lucky break when Goss came back from the Quebec Major Junior League to enter the draft, the supplemental draft there in September. He's been a big-time performer for the Maple Leafs throughout the season.
He's definitely been a difference maker through the season and through this playoffs. As speaking of the Leafs, they have the puck now. And they'll try to move it, and the Kings are pressuring hard, but French was able to hold the puck. He'll flip it down where Martel will play it. Martel's been very speedy in this game. Henley at the point. Crisscrossing to Norman, who gets that one into the goalmouth area, but that was stopped by a skate in front. Fisher out to play it, and now the Leafs will start away. They have 7 seconds left in their power play. I don't think they'll be able to get a rush in here.
That's a good kill by the Western Kings, but again, it kills 2 minutes off the clock for the Maple Leafs, where it's not where the Kings didn't have any chance or any offense. So they're going to have to try to catch that 2 minutes somewhere, maybe at their own power play at some point in time.
Here comes Brothers. He's moving in with Knight. Tries to spring Knight, but that was blocked up in front.
Nice play by Robinson there to block that pass.
Brothers got a attempted springing pass, but he couldn't get it. And now it'll be dumped in by Duty. Kings controlling, and it'll go right down the length of the ice for a nice hit.
Trying to make that long stretch pass. Sometimes you live by it, you die by it. That particular time there, the Western Kings ended up missing that pass. Sometimes it's a little bit better maybe to get the red line, try to get all your guys going over blue line and then enter with speed instead of trying to make that long stretch pass. It's a good play if it works. You work for the first goal for the Maple Leafs. but that time it was unsuccessful for the Western Kings.
13:35 left to go in this second frame. Here's the Kings. They're moving it in forward, and coach couldn't get a full stick on it. Parsons moving away with it in his own zone, trying to spring it forward, but it's intercepted there by the Kings. Flynn playing defensively now, wraparound try, and oh my goodness, what an opportunity that could have been. At the point is Parsons now. For Kornick with a long drive in, that one went into the crest of Fisher.
Nice save there by Fisher. Nice save on that wraparound attempt as well by Fisher there earlier. That puck was bouncing around there. He had an opportunity to put it in, but then on the second opportunity, the puck goes straight into the blue maple leaf there on Fisher's chest.
As we're going to see the face-off come up glove side to Fisher, who's been playing really great here, and through 15 shots, he's only let up 1 goal. Off the draw, it's won there by the Leafs. And I almost want to say that the Kings can't seem to buy a goal, as they've tried their hardest, but they've given up a lot of penalties and a lot of opportunities.
Well, one thing you'll say about the Maple Leafs is that their defense is a pretty strong D. A lot of these guys are third years, and they know what it takes to keep the puck in front of them and not let the goalie have hard shots to the net.
French moving in and trying to get that one on goal, and that one couldn't be collected past the crease area. Now at the point, Leafs are moving around. Osmond will drive, and that one rang off the post. Greenham circling. Henley at the point. And a long drive in, that one went off the pad. And now Greenham gets a stick on it, but he couldn't get it there.
It's not a good matchup here for Western Kings. You're talking about second line guys playing fourth line guys here. So you get a chance to make a change.
Robinson, Anderson, Legg, Antle all going out there for the Kings. Seymour, Goss, Osmond brothers.
Well, this is the big boy battle right here. These are the guys that they want on the ice at any time. Leafs having last change, of course, that makes a big difference to who they can get on the ice. But this is the line here for Western Kings. We said it before, we said it again. These guys have to start putting some an offensive show on here, somehow getting goals or getting pucks to the net one way or the other.
Kings controlling. High pressure there by the Leafs, as both brothers and Seymour giving out the pressure. Puck's knocked off the glass, and Anto will clear it down for Fisher to play it. Osmond collecting, and now here comes the Kings. Now trying to center it out in front there, and no one was home there for a pass. That one went right through the slot area too. Seymour now, other side, and couldn't get to Osmond.
That was a nice play there by the Leafs. Osmond going hard to the net. That's on net, so no icing. But Osmond, he's a defenseman. He jumped into the play and tried to make some offense there. It was a great play there, actually.
Norman dumping it down. Martell's chasing after it, and the Kings will get it first. But again, they're just dumping and chasing here, as we've seen a lot. But they win the dump and chase battle this time. Back to the point, another drive there, and that one never even got close to getting on net as he fanned on it. And now Robinson will have to control. Martell battling in hard for it. Robinson just getting a stick on it there for the Kings, and that's chipped up out of play.
So, Western Kings seem to be chasing the game a little bit. Like they're trying to make things happen, it's not happening for them. They're trying to get pucks deep, it's not happening for them. If you watch where the puck is at any time, you'll always notice that the Leafs are keeping the puck to the outside, and that's not scoring opportunity places. The Kings need to find a way to get to the inside in the slot areas and get those pucks to the net for even some dirty goals at this point in time.
The French line out there for the Leafs, they've been dangerous. And now speaking of them, here comes McCarthy. McCarthy moving in and tries to get to the other side of the goal and couldn't spring French. Sent down the length of the ice, and Parsons will touch up.
So here's what I mean by chasing the game. The Western is trying everything to keep the puck in front of them. but they can't. And then the last 3 times that there's been an icing, it's been against Western Kings. These are clearing attempts, trying to relieve pressure. So they're not really getting the opportunities that they should. That's why I say they're chasing the game. Like Coach Robinson there, Coach Cornick, these guys are the guys, they have to figure out how to get that puck free so that they can get opportunities to the net. 10 minutes left now in the second period, 30 minutes left in the game, and they're down by a goal. They need the next goal.
Henley trying to play it. He'll get to the puck first there. And French couldn't get a glove on it, and it'll be sent down. Fisher with the big goal stick. Almost turns it over there. I actually think he did there. As the Leafs can't get it out of the zone, but they will now. Bound pass hits Cornick, but it'll be sent down for Henley to play it in his own zone. Now there's a Kings player taking a tumble down into the corner. And now here comes the Leafs. Into the neutral zone territory. Henley's battling for it. He gets knocked into the bench. Or the Kings want to call. Here comes Nick French. Moving it in, and now here comes the Leafs as they're getting into the offensive zone. Alex French and now Nick French. French shoots, and that one stopped there off the pad. The rebound, that one could be collected in on goal. Brothers placing it in forward. French getting a stick on it, but not enough. And Anderson playing it. Anderson moving in, and a long drive in there. It didn't have much of a chance in going past Fisher.
Yeah, the zone going to the net, opportunities will have to present themselves, but Western has to be able to make their opportunities. Anderson's probably a better play there, would have been to stop, wait for his teammates to catch up, and get guys going to the net with speed.
Kings controlling off the draw, but they do get possession there in the offensive zone, which is kind of a good thing, but now it's turned over as the Leafs will move it in, and Brothers will get it through the blue line now. Now trying to center it out in front. He gets it out in front, and Goss couldn't get it past the goal wickets. Kings have it now. It's Antle. Antle trying to center it out in front, but no one was home. Robinson from the point now tries to get it on goal, and out to play it out of the Leafs. Now a long stringing pass, and the Leafs couldn't get a stick on it. Now there's going to be a call. Down is Leafs down behind the play.
The interference call on the Maple Leafs, I do believe.
Brandon Knight, is that?
I think either Norman or Knight is going to the box. I'm not sure which.
Knight was down on the ice. I was following the play down on the other end, and he took a knock. And now he's going to the box.
Yeah, he's not exactly sure why he's going to the box, but I've seen the replay there. He interfered with the man going for the puck and drove him into the board. So it's here's an opportunity for Western. 8:12 left in the second period. 2 minutes to try to score, and it's a critical juncture here in the game. Can't be overstated.
Brandon Knight taking another penalty as he took a few last night. From the point, Robinson couldn't play it. Now he's moving along. He's the captain here. So he's going to try to spring in forward. A long dump in there. That one stopped there by Fisher very easily, as the only shots the Kings have really gotten on goal are dump and chases. They haven't really been able to get a good opportunity to get it on goal. Speaking of a long dump, and that one's there by the Leafs, and now the Kings will have to start away on the defensive side of things. Moving into the offensive zone is Ryan, springing his man, and they'll battle for it and behind the goal. Norman playing it, he just gets a stick on it and turns it over. It will be sent down and stopped at the line. And unable to get a stick on it, there is Ryan for the Kings. Ryan tries to spring Robinson, but it ends up getting turned over and sent down. 55 seconds left to go in the Brandon Knight penalty. 7:05 left to go in period number 2. You're looking at a 2-1 score live from the Glacier. Game number 5 of the Major Midget Finals in the AAA action. St. John's Leafs versus the Western Kings. As the puck is played into the bench, I believe.
Yes, puck was played into the bench. Just have talk about the Western Kings here for a second. 30-2 record during the regular season. League MVP Antle, top defenseman Robinson, rookie Coates. Luke Park had the lowest goals against average. And these are your guys that you have to win with, and these are guys that are going to have to be big time players here in the next 6:45 and 20 minutes in the third.
Kornick sending it forward, and they couldn't get a full shot on goal, and it'll be sent down the length of the ice. Park got to play it, and they have less than 20 seconds left to go on their power play of the Kings. Genge, we haven't seen a lot of him tonight. We've seen more of him last night, and the play's called down. As a little aftermath is a scrum.
Genge finishes his check. The whistle was blown, and I guess he continued on and made a nice heavy check there. You know, you have 8 seconds left in the power play, and not many shots towards the net there by the Western Kings. I'll tell you what, maybe it's time to start talking about St. John's Maple Leafs and how well they're playing, and how they're keeping the opportunities low for the Western Kings, not giving them opportunities to get goals.
War scores!
Maybe I spoke too soon.
We're deadlocked at 2 here with 6:15 left to go.
Ward with a nice shot over the glove of Fisher. Fisher would like to have that one, I'm pretty sure. You see here at the replay, this is Ward.
Nothing more than a long dumping.
Maybe that was tipped in front there by the defenseman there as he was playing Ward. I'm not sure if it seemed to be one of those goals that the goalie'd like to have back up. Let's look at this angle. We might be able to see a little bit better. Ward coming in.
It doesn't look like it's tipped.
But that's maybe just enough to put Fisher out of sync there with his save. I mean, you're talking about Mike Fisher down there. He's played well the last 3 games. He's made the saves that have been needed for the Leafs to win the last 2 games. You can't. Sometimes things just happen. He's got to put that behind him and just keep moving forward.
Knight takes a tumble as the puck is dumped in and long. Duty can't play it as Campbell gets there first. And here's the goal call. Played down, and the call is icing. Shots on goal are actually 20-14 in favor of the Kings. They had a lot of dump-in chances with that, and we've seen it's been a seesaw game. And back and forth with these goals as we've seen so far throughout this hockey game.
Yeah, Ward with the big goal there. I mean, you know, words weren't out of my mouth in a couple different ways about them trying to step up. Ward is one of those players. He stepped up for the Western Kings.
And if the Kings are able to hold off the Leafs and get another goal here and come out on top. Oh, and another shot there. That one went wide of the goal, and that was a penalty.
Penalties on Anderson. Pretty sure it's going to be head contact penalty for 4 minutes.
That's a long time to go.
That was on that last shot there. I don't know if we can get that replay up and see what happened. But that last shot that Nick French took towards the net, that's where the penalty happened. It just says he released the shot. Anderson made a check to him, and I guess the referee saw that it was the point of contact. First point of contact was the head. And again, 4 minutes in the box. Oh, there it goes. There's a chance.
Now here's a breakaway. They're moving on in. Oh, what a save there by Fisher, standing tall. Great opportunity to score there.
It's a nice save by Fisher.
Now the fans are starting to roar a bit as they're starting to wake up a little. Chanting "Go Leafs, go!" as the Leafs are in their home arena. Whoa, watch out here.
That is not a good penalty. I mean, here you go again. It's something that I talked about. It's something that I've just continue to talk about. And there's a penalty there by Braden Ryan. Stuck his foot out and takes a tripping penalty. I'm pretty sure they call it tripping, not kneeing. The tripping penalty against him here. Here's the save by Fisher. It was a nice save. You know, that's the same spot that the goal was scored earlier. I don't know if we can see it right here. Winding up, foot out, boom. And then there's that penalty right there. Those are the penalties that are going to kill this opportunity for Western Kings. If they continue to take these penalties, if they continue to do that, it's just not going to happen for them. Coach is going to have to sit down with these players and say, listen, this is why he probably took his time out. He's taking his time out saying, guys, we want an opportunity. We want to be able to win. We want to be able to go home and take this back to our barn, get our fans in our barn, and start talking to and start playing the game that we were playing all year. It's not happening for them right now. There's so many penalties, so many things that are happening on the ice that are not being done very smartly by the Western Kings. If I'm Coach Robinson down there right now, I'm telling them the same thing. You see Coach Oates setting up his power play.
5-on-3 for 2 minutes? That's a long, long time.
Right now, this doesn't look very well for the Western Kings. I can't say I'm not going to be Nostradamus or Kreskin or whoever else you might want to say for those guys to say that they're going to score a goal here. But usually, when you have a 5-on-3 for that length of time with the offensive weapons that the Leafs can put on the ice, chances are. If I was a betting man here right now, I'd say they will score. But if Western can kill off these 2 minutes and get it down and not get a goal scored against them,
huge momentum.
It's going to be big for them.
So Leafs will have to start away in their own zone on this 5-on-3 situation in a long, long time. Here's Seymour setting it up. Spits it back to the point. We're going to see a lot of these Maple Leafs now. Greenham, other side, Osmond with a drive, and that one got tipped up in front. And the rebound is there, and a big stop there by Park. He's way out of the goal crease and in behind the goal, covering for that.
So who's the most important man on the ice right now? That's the goalie for Western Kings right now, number 31, Lucas Park. And Lucas is going to have to be able to see all these pucks coming at him. He's going to have to be, he's going to have to see it. He's going to have to cover him up, make the saves that he's got to make. Just try to kill that momentum to keep that puck out of his net.
Kings have it now, and they'll dump it down, and time is going to tick away on the 5-on-3 for the Leafs. Slowly but surely now, that time will go right down. Here's Osmond. He's going to try to make it go down faster now. He's got Greenham on the open side. He hits Greenham. Oh, and he had a lot of net to look at there. Greenham one more time. Osmond. Greenham shoots, and that one score!
I believe that was tipped out in front. You see the replay here now in a second. But then when Granum tipped that shot, I believe that was tipped in front for...
I think Goss got a piece of that.
I believe so. We'll see here now in a second on that replay. Because it did change direction.
Oh yeah, Goss right out in front.
Goss definitely tipped that puck. No chance of Lucas Park on that particular shot.
So it's actually still going to be a 5-on-3 for another minute and 08. It feels like a never-ending story for the Kings, as because of that 4-minute head contact. And this could get ugly fast. We start to see the Leafs run away with this game here. It's going to be disastrous.
And the reason why that's still a 5-on-3 is because it was 4 minutes to the head contact penalty, and there was still over 2 minutes left in that particular penalty. And because that was the first penalty that was on the books, that's why they have to call that one. That one has to go off the books first, and then they'll go with the second one after.
Wasn't long left in that to get to the 2-minute mark.
No, it wasn't. But here's the breakaway pass.
Here comes Goss. Oh, and he just falls to his knees, and he couldn't play it any further. What an opportunity that could have been. Osmond stepping up. Oh, and his man got in front of him. Goss with a drop pass there to no one. And Osmond, other side. This looks familiar. Leafs setting up now. Another shot out in front there by Brothers. Park standing tall. Osmond waiting. Shoots. Oh, and that one just went wide of the goal. Here comes the Leafs again. At the point, Osmond shoots, and that one stopped there again. Osmond one more time. Getting out in front now, and we're down to 5-on-4. They score!
I don't think that's going to count. No, puck didn't enter the net. Puck was on the side. But that was kicked at the last second. You can see the guy's foot. Guy stuck his foot out and kicked it towards the net. But I don't believe the puck entered the net. I think we'll get a replay over here now. No, ref was saying the puck is starting to face off here to the right of the Western goalie.
I seen a few players celebrating there, and
Puck may have entered the net, but I'm pretty sure that the referee saw that it was a kick towards the front of the net, and even if it did sneak behind Park there.
47 seconds left on this 5-on-4.
Number 9, Nicholas Goss. Assisted by number 5, Lucas Osmond, and number 7, Regan
Norman trying to get it to the other side, and he'll be sent down. So Goss does get credit for the goal on the tip out in front, as they just made the announcement in the building. And stay tuned for our second intermission, where we're going to be talking to Glenn Littlejohn. As there's a lot to talk about with the Major Midget Association. We talked to him last night, and we'll have that for you now in less than 2 minutes. Henley with an open net. Oh, what a big save there by Park. Oh my goodness, he just got a piece of that. Oh, what an opportunity that could have been.
Well, penalties are over. I know they scored, but Western is very lucky there was only one goal.
Hit a 5-on-3 for a long period of time, a full 2 minutes. And now out in front again, another shot, a big save there by Fisher. The rebound and a bigger save there by Fisher. My goodness, good goaltending on both ends.
Fisher made some great saves there to keep that puck out of his net. That's some nice play there by Western, but just kept out of the net by Fisher. I know down at the end of the rink here, his mom is behind there, his dad's behind. His mom is really, really happy that that puck stayed out of the net. Can't blame her being a goalie parent. I know what she feels at this particular time as well. It's a nerve-wracking thing for sure.
Leafs controlling it tonight. Brandon Knight, he's got a goal tonight. Parsons trying to play it. Sent in for Flynn. It'll be played around for Martel. He tries to collect, and Knight will pick it up. Flynn one more time for French. As there's less than a minute now in this second period of action. Kings couldn't swat it forward, and they'll have to start away in their own zone as they're trying to flip it forward. Martel couldn't get a stick on it, neither could Oak, and it'll be sent down for Flynn to play it. And the fans want another goal from the Leafs as the puck is called down. 33.9 left to go in this second frame. Shots on goal are starting to even up a bit. 23-21 in favor of the Western Kings as they're leading by a goal.
Western Kings now, I use the word escape here. They're escaping the second period, just down by a goal. Their third period, they're going to really have to turn it on if they want to send this thing back to Corner Brook. With the offense that they can provide, it can be done, but I can't say that we've seen that in these 3 games. So we hope that they hope that they can find their legs in the third period to do what they've done all year.
Now here comes the Leafs. Another shot that went wide of the goal, and we will have games 6 and 7 on Rogers TV from Corner Brook if necessary. Goss with a shot, and then we went right into the crest there of Park. Had a good opportunity.
Opportunity came there because of the play there at the beginning there by Goss, but it might have been a little bit of a hole there by Goss to be able to get there. Referees let that go undetected. 11 seconds left in the period. Perhaps they're just hoping to get out of here and get to the third.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media. He's lost count.
Hello everybody and welcome back inside the glacier in the beautiful town of Mount Pearl as myself, Corey, and Glenn are all here in the broadcast booth. And Glenn, who's had an absolute phenomenal year with his presidency, and he's just been working so hard to get this tournament to get to a right shape.
And he was a pretty good color commentator on Friday night as well.
Jack of all trades, but no, it's been a great year, and we've got some great hockey here again this morning. It's been a great series, and there's 20 minutes to play. There's lots of time, and I'm not convinced that this is not going back to Corner Brook. But two teams going hard at it again this morning. Great entertainment. If you're home watching, you've got to say it's a great hockey game. And on behalf of myself, Zach, I want to thank you and Curry for doing this all weekend and giving up your time.
It's been a true
and,
pleasure.
And on behalf of the Newfoundland and Labrador Major Midget Hockey League, we'd like to thank Rogers TV for your support and your telecast of the finals. So on behalf of us, to you and Rogers, thank you and all your volunteers here in St. John's and Corner Brook.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an awful pleasure out there, and we've seen a lot of great hockey out there.
Yep.
And this is definitely a true souvenir of it, as we just had an absolute blast, and we'll be out in Corner Brook again if games 6 and 7 are necessary. And this has just been an absolute thriller of a game. I'd like to thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks, Corey, for giving up your weekend and
problem.
being a play-by-play or color commentary, whatever you need it to be. And
exactly.
Zach, to you, thank you and all your Rogers team, all the volunteers. I know a little bit about what it takes for community television. The volunteers on the behind the scenes, producing on the cameras, doing the replays, and just the setup. The setup and takedown takes hours, and I want to thank Rogers for all their support. The Newfoundland and Labrador Major Midget Hockey League couldn't be more proud than to have Rogers TV here doing our finals, and what a great job it is. And we're showing Newfoundland and Labrador what great hockey, major midget hockey can be, and these young people are putting on a great show.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of Rogers TV, because we've just had an absolute blast coming here, and we set up earlier, and we did a Friday night game, we did Saturday and again Sunday, and we'll be back out in Corner Brook again, and we've just had so much fun here doing this, and I'd like to thank you so much for that.
And please, on my behalf and the league's behalf, please thank all the good people in Corner Brook as well. They did a great job last weekend televising games 1 and 2, and they could be back for games 6 and 7 before this is all over this afternoon.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Have a great game, guys.
You
Thanks,
too.
Ben. Thanks very much.
As I'd like to thank Glenn for that. We definitely have a great array of events here and a beautiful, beautiful hockey tournament. And a big thanks out to Eastlink 2, who's been following this tournament as well. And they've been out here supporting us, and we've been supporting them. And it's just phenomenal how everybody came together for this to call this game and telecast this. And we, like he said, we are showcasing Newfoundland, and these are Newfoundlanders and Labradorians out there playing, and they're out playing for the pride in the Midget AAA hockey tournament. And I know I've had an absolute blast, and Glenn has too, and along with Corey D'Entremont up here in the broadcast booth, and we've just had nothing but a blast.
Well, hey, this has been fun for me. You know, actually broadcasting the hockey game on Friday night, doing the play-by-play and doing color commentary the last 2 games. You know, being a first-timer at this is all new to me, and I'd like to thank all the people who helped me this weekend. Zach, the guys in the truck, guys on the cameras, you make this job easy for me as well. And I'd like to take this opportunity personally myself to thank you guys for giving me that chance.
Speaking of the game, and here we go. It's the third period of action, and the Maple Leafs are up by 1 as we're underway in this third period of action. The shots on goal are 24-22 for the Western Kings as they're going to try to climb back into it, and this time with a burst of speed. Now it is the third period, and for all the marbles here now, and things are starting to they're going to get intense, aren't they, Corey?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you have this period of hockey. This is the last period of hockey possibly in the season, Newfoundland Major Midget season. And for the Western Kings, if they lose in this game here and they lose the finals, it'll be a disappointment to what was a tremendous year all year for them, going 30-2 in the league and just dominating from start to finish, and even first round of the playoffs. So right now they run into the St. John's Maple Leafs juggernaut.
It's a big accomplishment to go 30-2 and then have it all wasted in the playoffs where you've given up more losses than you have all season long. And that's got to be a big thing for the Kings. Meanwhile, back in the action, the Kings are in the defensive zone as both teams have switched sides for one final time. Seymour now, a long drive in. That one went off the pad, easily stopped there by Park through traffic.
I want you guys at home to take a look at the setup here by the Maple Leafs to the neutral zone. You have two guys back, two guys a little bit ahead, and one guy forechecking. The typical 1-2-2 forecheck, making sure that there's no opportunity for Western to move through the neutral zone. One way of breaking that, of course, is to get all your guys moving to one side of the ice and then put the puck the other way to try to open up lanes for these guys to skate. And this is what they're going to have to do. This is what is necessary in this period. They're just really going to have to try to find guys, or they're just going to have to go through guys in order to get to the front of the net.
Kings control. Anderson couldn't get a stick on it. It'll be played down and
but that's it right there. That icing call there as a pass that was tried to, a long stretch pass instead of working it out from one player to the next down the zone. It's one of those things where the Leafs are doing a great job in their forecheck posture.
Shot went off the glass there. Anderson knocking it off the glass too. And Osmond will control. Intercepted there. And now here comes Legg. Trying to split it forward for Antle. And no call there as he took a tumble to the ice. Almost looked like a hook or a trip.
Yeah, the fans from Western, they're not too happy about that non-call. Especially seeing the calls gone against Western here tonight.
Norman dumping it in. Seymour had to play it. Oh, that could have been a good chance to score there as the Kings will pick it up now and they'll send it down. Here comes the Kings. Martel's battling for it with Knight. Everybody's digging a stick in there. And the puck comes out on the other side. No one really realizes it for a few seconds. Parsons gets a stick on it. And now the Kings control. Intercepted though as Knight picks it up. But he can't get a full stick on it there as it's whipped around the boards. Parson fans on the shot there. Swing and a miss. That's strike one. Here's Duty. Dumping it in long. Parsons out to play it.
You can see what the St. John's Maple Leafs, what their playbook is calling for here. You get the defense it up, get the line, dump it in, make Western earn their 200 feet of ice.
Here's McCarthy with a long drive. And another shot there, that one went wide of the goal. Greenham one more time. He's playing it around and he's moving it in behind the goal. Greenham playing it around. Can't spring French there, but he will later on. But the Kings will eventually get it. Play's called down on an icing. 16:31 left to go in the third period of action.
So we had 3.5 minutes of play here in the third period. A couple shots for the St. John's Maple Leafs, but nothing yet from the Western Kings. This is not going to be. It's not going to go well for them if they don't start getting a few shots in the game.
Shots on goal are pretty much tied up at 24-23, and that's really been the story of this game. It's been back and forth. A lot of dump and chases by the Western Kings, and
so here we go. Here's what I'm talking about right here. Here's their setup. Attacking with speed.
Ward tries to go in with a burst of speed. He'll spring Smith. Another long drive stopped there by Fisher. Campbell one more time. Playing it around. Back to the point now. Another drive there, and that one stopped there off the shot by Robinson. Now the foot race between Genja and French, and French gets knocked down. No call there. Here's Ward. Ward shoots, and that one went off the blocker. Ward again kicks it to his stick, but he couldn't get anything on it. Campbell in behind the goal. Playing it around. He'll get it one more time. Sent back to the point. It's Robertson. Now Genge. Genge shoots. Scores! scores. It's Genge.
Nice shot by Malcolm Genge to get that goal blocker side. There was a bit of a screen. Fisher couldn't see. I don't think he saw all that shot, but it was a nice shot to goal blocker side here by Genge for sure. So that's going to change the way that the Maple Leafs are going to attack this third period now, where you had a 1-2-2 forecheck. You're going to see a lot of Goss, a lot of Seymour, a lot of Brothers, a lot of the French line, and they're going to come after them now for this goal.
Call me crazy, but this is going to turn out to be an absolute thriller. And if we get overtime, things are going to start to get heated. Here's Seymour. He's trying to change the fortune. And here's the goal call.
Assisted by number 8, Malcolm Campbell, and number 15, William Smith. Time of the goal, 15-26.
You can see a little bit of a spring in the step of Western after that goal. You know, one goal can change everything. And that particular goal there right now, at least at the first shift after the goal, has got Western Kings jumping.
Anderson couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the point now. Robinson playing it forward. And now the Leafs will pick it up, and they're going to try to go in with a burst of speed. And now Seymour trying to get a stick on it there. He had a good opportunity to get a nice shot in. Anderson flipping it forward. Duty at the line, stops it. Anderson gets a stick on it again, and it'll be stopped again at the line by Parsons. Kings pressuring, they get it out to the neutral zone. That's how they'll get it there, as Duty will pick it up and he'll send it all the way down.
Duty, Knight, Martel out there trying to get a few hits on the Western players to get a momentum change here now to get that goal momentum stopped in this track so that they can get the other lines out there and perhaps themselves get a goal.
Parsons with a shot, and that one went off the pad there. Parsons whipping it around, and he'll dump it in the length of the ice. Will be played all the way down there. And the play is called down, and a nice thing called. And the shots on goal now are at 27-24 in favor of the Western Kings, as they're slowly and surely starting to climb back into this hockey game.
Well, it's going to be an interesting 13:39 now. The sticks have tightened up a bit. Grips will be a little bit more. They'll be a little bit more cautious, I would assume. And with the fans out there cheering on your teams, this is going to be an exciting finish.
Greenham couldn't get a stick on it, and it'll be sent down. And now here comes Smith with a burst of speed. Smith moving in. A nice move to the other side of the goal. Oh, and what an opportunity. Campbell playing it around as he just started to turn up a little here. And
yeah.
Henley, he doesn't have a stick, and he's going to kick it forward. A nice play there by him.
That's the goalie stick back there. The goalie's got Henley's stick. There's a penalty coming. Penalty coming here to Alex French.
Here's the call.
Roughing call against Alex French. You see here now, he made the play. Oh, fist came up, yeah. Just maybe lucky he's not getting a hit contact penalty there. You know, Alex French is one of those players. Alex French is one of those players that played last year on Tricom Thunder AAA Bandit team. He raw heart and soul, always going, always moving, always teammate for life, and one of those players, again, you love to have on your team and not play against.
Anto pressuring hard. Kings controlling in the offensive zone now. Here's Robinson at the line. Robinson shoots, that one blocked there by Goss and sent into the corner. For Osmond will play it for Norman, and it'll be sent down. Out to play it is the goaltender, Park, and the Kings will start away on their power play opportunity. And another long dump in that will go down the length of the ice. And now foot race between Seymour and another player of the Kings. Ward couldn't get a stick on it now. It's McCarthy as he'll dump it into the corner, that is.
Kings have to calm things down here now and get a breakout. They really have to try to enter the zone because they haven't had much time in there yet.
the focus of the Kings really has to be there if they really want to get back into this game. They do lead in the shots, but they're really going to need some good opportunities here.
Leafs are doing a great job penalty killing here. It's textbook penalty kill. One guy going hard and the other 3 guys hanging out in the neutral zone trying to make sure that they don't get that zone very easily.
Plays called down on the offside as Ward just was a hair offside, and he'll look skyward.
28 seconds left in the power play, and much power play. They haven't had very much time in the zone. In this 28 seconds, they really have to try to set up if they want to get an opportunity for a few shots anyway.
Out to play this Park, and the Kings will have to start away, and the time is just burning down on this penalty kill. And they're taking their sweet time here. Knocked down by the Leafs, and that will go down the length of the ice. And
that'll take care of the penalty for the Maple Leafs. So there's again, like I said, textbook job of the Leafs killing that penalty. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Don't give the Kings the momentum.
A huge opportunity for the Leafs to come into this game and get some points. And attempted shot there by Ward that got blocked up in front there by Norman. And now the Leafs will control, and a long flip pass that might not get anybody, and it didn't. Here's Anderson, drop pass to Genge. And it's flipped in forward. Norman moving it in. And that's intercepted. Now here comes the Kings the other way. They're moving in, trying to get a shot on goal, and that one stopped there off the stick. Trying to split the defense is Goss. That's intercepted there by Antle. Here are the Kings one more time in the defensive zone. And it'll be cleared in along for Henley to play it, and he's in a foot race with Antle, who's very speedy, mind you. On the side of the boards, Judy will pick it up for the Leafs, and he'll dump it down. Oak couldn't get a stick on it. It's Robertson now, trying to spit it forward for Smith, and Greenham will pick it up. Here's Greenham for Duty. Oak intercepts, and a shot there that never even came close to getting on goal.
No, it would have been a better attempt to pass to Smith there to the side of the net. Would have been an opportunity, I believe.
Martel one more time. Moving it around, it's Greenham, and tries to spring Brandon Knight, but he couldn't get a stick on it either. And these saucer passes, sometimes they're not getting a lot of the stick on it either. Martel off his skates there, and he knocks down his man. And now here comes a attempted break and out to play. Whoa, watch out! Oh my goodness, and whoa, wow. Park in a major turn of events. That could have been deadly.
Oh, I know Lucas was trying to play the puck, but that almost ended up in the back of his net.
As it was rolling through the crease there, I was just about to scream goal there for a second. Meanwhile, through the neutral zone are the Leafs as they're going to try one more time. Here they come in, a shot there, and that one went wide of the goal. At the point, it stopped there by McCarthy. Flipped in forward as Norman will pick it up. He'll flip it in forward, trying to spring French. Here are the Leafs in behind the goal. French trying a drop pass that got to nobody, but it'll be flipped around to Osmond though, who just keeps it in. Another shot there, and they score! It's French!
Alex French scores the goal.
We're at a 4-3 state here with 8:04 left to go in the third.
I'm not sure. I think they waved it off. I think they called it offside. That the Western bench was saying offside when that puck was kept in. And the puck did come out over the line.
That was a delayed offside, though. That was long after the fact.
Well, I agree. And the first thing that happened is that they said it was onside. And then the second thing that happened was when the goal went in the net. I think they changed their mind. I really do.
They can't call this back.
They call it back.
You don't see that every day.
Now, I know the linesman probably feels bad. I know he probably thinks he made a mistake. But, you know, things happen on the ice.
It was offside.
It was offside.
I'll give you that. but to call it back after it went in,
Well, you know what? Credit to the linesman for actually making the right call, because most guys would just say that they didn't. But credit to him that he said, I made a mistake. The call should have been outside. I'm changing my call.
so for the Leafs now, they had the lead with about 8 minutes left to go, and that could have been huge.
This could be big. It could be a turning point in the game.
I wouldn't want to see a bad call that could really change the fate of this series.
Exactly. That's why I say, kudos to the linesman for actually saying that he made a mistake. Because if that puck had counted as a goal, Western would have been really, really upset.
Here's Goss. He's going to try to change the fortune with a shot, and that one went off the glass. And that's played up into the netting.
7:24 left here in the third period. An exciting game here. These games here, the same type of games you find all across Canada, not just in Newfoundland, but it's nice to have high-level hockey like this in our province with these young men, grade 10s, grade 11s, grade 12s out there, giving them everything they have.
Too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Rogers has been showcasing them, and you can view coast to coast and around the world at rogerstv.com and our YouTube page. And it's great to see that people are able to view this game and get more publicity and popularity for this. Anto springing it forward. Anderson into the corner, playing it out. He's trying to center it out in front there, and no one was home. And now there's going to be a stoppage in play as the net's knocked off its moorings.
That was close. If Anderson had actually stopped and didn't go all the way to the net, that puck would have been on his stick with an empty net there for sure.
So it looks like the faceoff's going to come up glove side to the goaltender Fisher, who's had 28 shots come on him, and he's let up 3 goals. It's still above that 90% save mark that everybody is striving for. Here comes the Maple Leafs as French will pick it up. He'll try to spring his man, but he couldn't. And now here comes Alex French with an opportunity. He gets knocked down. And now another shot there by Nick French, and tries one more time, but that one got stopped there by Park. Here's McCarthy as he whips it around. Alex French trying to play it. Trying to spring Osmond, and a nice diving play there by Antle from his knees. Play is called down on icing. 6:28 left to go in this third period. The Maple Leafs are leading the series 3-1.
Yeah, it's you can see now with that diving play by Antle, give everything and anything now to get that puck out of the zone and make sure that the Leafs are going to have to go get it, but ended up being an icing call.
Leafs controlling, they're moving it around. Another shot there that got blocked up in front. Nate Parsons shoots, and that one rang off his mask. One more time again, they're trying to shoot it on goal. That got blocked up by a storm of defenders. Now in behind the goal into the corner, it's Martel. Martel springing Knight. Knight trying to center it out in front, but that was unavailable as it was blocked by the defense of the Kings. Here they are at the point. It's Flynn with a long drive there that just got to the goal slowly but surely, and that stops the play.
It'll be interesting now to see what happens in terms of the legs. 5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the game, and what kind of legs do the Western Kings have? What kind of legs do the St. John's Maple Leafs have? It's going to be critical. Conditioning all throughout the year, it's one of those things that old hockey players didn't have to worry about. But in this day and age, conditioning is a big part of the game with how the game is played today. And let's see what happens.
Campbell moving it around, sends it in forward, and he'll try to get the pass back, but Greenham intercepts. Now there's going to be a call coming here.
Penalty on the Leafs.
Another shot, a big save there by Fisher as he made 2 big saves there, and now here's the penalty call.
Referees get together, figure out who they got. Gathering up, there was a West, I'm pretty sure it's going to be against the Maple Leafs.
Looks like
4-minute head contact penalty. That's a big call at this stage of the game. That's going against Jacob Dyer. Jacob Dyer getting a few shifts in this game. Taking that 4-minute penalty is not exactly what Coach Oates had in mind.
So now with 5:30 left to go in this third period, things are starting to become crucial. And now a 4-minute power play on that. That's going to be huge for the Western Kings. And we just might see a game out in Cornerbrook.
Possibly, but I tell you what, if anybody can do it, this is going to be the Maple Leafs. Their defense is pretty strong.
Robinson a shot, that one went off the glass.
Here comes. Oh,
and now a break
nice
that got
play,
knocked
nice
down, and Seymour gets knocked down. And sure, he's not happy about that. That could have been a potential breakaway.
But again, like we talked about earlier, or I talked about earlier in the game, getting set up in the zone. I mean, Robinson gets the line, comes down, takes a shot, misses by a country mile, goes around the glass the other way for Seymour for a breakaway. They have to get chances. Again, the stretch pass. So this is what I'm talking about. They have to get the puck there, get the line, get into the half wall that's down here on the circles, stop and set up. That's how they're going to be successful. As of right now, 3 minutes and 7 seconds left in the penalty, and they're killing their penalty for the St. John's Maple Leafs themselves. They really have to take their time. They have 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game. If they take their time, they could do well.
They don't seem to be taking their time here as they want to go fast and furious and get a goal quick, and sending out these quick passes that are
Here's another icing
unavailable
call.
like that one.
That's to the net. So.
And now there's a little deliberation here.
Western fans looking for a call there on the boards against one of the Leaf players. I believe it was